This is Jambo Radio.
Welcome. It's time to talk sports on another fantastic midweek, of a lot of happenings in the world of sports. My name remains Ladi Egbedere, and joining me on the show today is my strike partner, the one I like to call Zimulini, Afolabi, and Nefemi. Welcome on board, Zimo.
Thank you, Ladi. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, nice to see your face again. I can see you are all dressed up for the season. But and I know the cold in Scotland can be a bit harsh than the rest of the country. So how's it going, my
That's
brother? The World Cup is around the corner, just some couple of days to the start of the biggest fiesta in world of football. And right now, the stories coming out of the French camp is not too good at all because we learned that
mhm.
Christopher Nkunku has joined the injury list, is out of the World Cup. What? Don't forget, Sadio Mane ago, we learned that
Mhm.
he was injured in that game in the Bundesliga. The latest story emanating from the Senegalese camp right now is that he might actually miss just one game. Do you think he will actually be, fit like the rest of the guys that are going to this World Cup, considering the fact that he might miss one game? Don't you think this might
To
be
be honest,
counterproductive? At the long run, don't you think it might be counterproductive?
I wouldn't know the extent of his injury, but if he's fit to play for them, but if he's not that fit, it might, by the time they need him, if he's not fully fit and they want to use him, right, before you know it. But if he's fit and he's just gonna miss one game, then yeah, it's a plus for Senegal, for the Senegalese national team, because he's their main man.
Well, on that note, welcome you to another on the platform of Jambo Radio Scotland. Yeah, let's start on the tennis, from the world of tennis, where Australian governments have overturned the visa ban imposed on Serbian's Novak, clearing him to play at the Australian Open. Don't forget, he was banned during the peak period of COVID, considering his, what's it called, not meeting the entry requirements for him to come during that
Mm.
period. But right now, the
But
ban has been overturned, which means he's opportune to play at the Australian Open. That's next year, January. What's your take on that, Zimo? Do you think this is a timely decision? Probably. What's your take?
I would say it's not a bad decision if they have to revise that decision on him. They've made their point, and thankfully the COVID thing is a bit dying down now. So everybody's back on the street. It's one of the best players. I saw him at first because everybody had to take the jab. You don't want to be a COVID denier or something like that. But if everybody look at the Premier League, every player had to take it. Most sportsmen that are idols, they are like role model to most people, and they look up to them. But if you stand against the norm at that time and say, "Oh, I don't want to take the jag. I'm fine," then that means a lot of people follow. So I supported what Australia did, because if you look at the Australian society at that time, they were on lockdown, right? To make sure everybody had to take the jab, but they locked them down for a very long time. And you coming in to say you're a superstar, you don't want to take it. No. So I supported the ban. But if they want to reverse the ban now, and that's okay, because everything
Well,
is gone down
well,
now.
well, Novak joke. Well, the point remains that Novak is still unvaccinated.
That's the point. There's so many
So
people
is
on
it okay now for him to come into the country unvaccinated? And I would have loved to ask if I have the opportunity.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's just enjoying the status of a super. You know, it, that's not the point. But the point is the COVID thing that died down now. Most people have had the jag, and they've tried to suppress it with vaccines and every other thing. So we're back on the road. He wants to play, yeah, fine. I support that as well. You want to reverse it?
All right, then let's move on to boxing, where former what's it called heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua could be in line to face Philip Egovic for a world title. Joshua will get his chance if the IBF champion Alexander Usyk decides to pursue a fight with Tyson Fury for the WBC title. Don't forget, Anthony IBF, WBA, WBO, and IBO titles to Usyk, and then failed in his to back. He failed on 2 occasions, and my guys categorically that I should just forget about going for that title. But right now, this is another foe here. But there are still some dominoes that must fall into place before this fight can happen. Don't forget,
That's what I mean.
was it? Yeah, there are some dominoes that must fall into place before this fight can happen. It is right now. Andy Ruiz as well is also Govik. Yeah, Andy Ruiz is supposed to be in line to fight him, but with Ruiz decides to go for Deontay Wilder, then Anthony Joshua will be the next person in line. This boxer. So let's see the way it goes. And
I think
the
it's
fight with Ruiz and go ahead, please.
to be honest, I think it's a shame that Anthony Joshua will have to come through the try going back. A former number one, and I don't know. It's just unfortunate that the fight with Fury did not take place because Fury gave him that chance. I could understand his camp as well. They don't want to take up the fight because of Fury's demand because it's giving them condition. Fine, but I think Anthony Joshua should just forget about heavyweight boxing for now. Looking for a shortcut. He should wait for his time. If he has to fight, go to number 6, come back, or number 15, because they're touting him to fight maybe the next person in the rank between 10th and 15th. I don't know who that person will be. It could be one of these guys, but I don't know. He lost it when he lost those bouts. To be honest with you,
But
might come
despite
back.
the fact that he lost it, despite the fact that he lost it when he lost his title to Usyk, but you must agree with me that he must remain active. He can't afford to go in dormant. He must remain active.
I understand that, but he wants to claim back the IBF through, or the WBF through a backdoor. I don't think Usyk is good.
I would say it's a bad relinquishing the title and going to defend his other titles against what's it called, the Gypsy King. So it's not about him getting it through the back door. It's just all about still getting it. Where I say it. And I'm moving on to the world of sports awards. Nigeria's world 100 meters hurdles champion and record holder Tobi Amusan has made the 5 finalists for the Women's World Athletics of the Year 2022 award. It was released earlier this week. The names of the 5 finalists for the Women's World Athlete of the Year were confirmed. The countdown to the World Athletics Championship Awards continues. According to the World Athletics, 3 million votes were registered by emails and online voting via the media platforms. Now, the 3-way voting process to determine the finalists for the 20 awards was concluded on the 31st of October, and the winner will be announced on social media platforms in early December. Now, Tobi Amusan of the 5 girls, do you think she can win that award, that prestigious award? But probably, do you think it might go to Shelley and Fraser Price? Because I'm taking both of them.
To be honest with you, even if she doesn't win it, for her, an African queen making the last 5 nomination for this award is a very, very big achievement for the continent, for Nigeria and the continent. Yeah, even if she doesn't win it, I'm not expecting her to win it. She might come second, but if she lost that to Fraser, is a bad lose. She's done well in her career and she's starting. So it's an award she can win the next time. Even if she doesn't win in that ball, she's done a lot to deserve it. To be honest with you, she broke record and after record and after record to be here. But she came from nowhere, but she's a superstar now, and everyone knows her now in the world of track and field.
That's right. She's a
So,
superstar right now. But those, I might differ a bit when you say she came from nowhere. She's been around for like forever. She's always been competitive. But I think she just stepped up her game this season, and we're seeing results of that. Because I think the last championship she went to, she was just shy of the medal of the podium. You know, with some bit of seconds or thereabout. So coming up strong again, stepping up our game. I think that's a fantastic one from Toby Amuso. Now let's move on to football, where Asfa FC have claimed their first CAF Women's Champions League after humiliating the champions Mamelodi Sundowns by 4-0 at the start Prince Mole over the weekend. Now, there's something striking here. Forget the Moroccan team, the national team, they knocked out the Super Falcons in the semi-final of the Women's Championship, the CAF Women's Championship. Now, they went ahead to play South Africa in the final of that championship, and the South African ladies won. A shift. Are we seeing a shift in the power of African football when you talk about women football that's used to be in Nigeria like a decade, if not more than that? Are we seeing a shift to North Africa and probably because if you look at the emergence of the North Africans, especially the Moroccans on the scene, I think there's the rest of the West African coast have to take, talking about the likes of Ghana, Cameroon, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea.
Ladi, to be honest with you, Nigeria is still the one to in this women championship. I'm not talking about the club, but when it comes to the national team, Nigeria still decide to pick. They might not have won it this time around, but Nigeria has always been there. So each of this country will want to be in Nigeria's position to have won the tournament in so many times and represent Africa on so many occasions. So I still believe this is a blip until when I see the next tournament. Another North African country wins it, then I'll say, okay, we're in a shift. Because don't forget these people are not just sitting there as well. They have good management, and they are trying to build their game. So if we don't take care, they might catch up with us. But for this year, I'll say maybe it's a blip. We'll go to the semi-final. Let's see what happens the next tournament. If another North African team wins it, then I'll say, okay, there's a shift now. But it's still early. It's still early days.
It's still early days. Okay, then let's jump the gun then. They're still talking football. The Confederation of African Football has postponed the group stage draws for the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. Group stage draws for both inter-club competitions was initially stated for today, but news coming out from CAF via their website is that they've postponed the draws, and they apologize for any inconvenience that this change might have caused. And I think the dates will be announced in due. And let's move on to international friendly, where Ajax defender Calvin Bassey is a major doubt for the international friendly match between Nigeria and Portugal that is scheduled for Thursday. The Super Eagles are scheduled there, and although the extent of the injury is still not unknown, there's every possibility that he might miss that game. But I think that if it's a doubt for the game, since it's a friendly game, the coach has any player to serve as a backup.
They should have another player that will play his role. It's not an important apart from just because FIFA will rate this as one of grade A friendly, But
It's
apart from that,
friendly.
yeah. So I don't see Nigeria getting even if Bassey is fit. Portugal are going to the World Cup, they're an African team because they're playing Ghana in the group stage. So they want to see can look like, So that's the only reason they're playing West Africa as well. That's why they've chosen us. So I don't see us doing anything in this. We're not going to go out trot to go and win it anyway. So it's a no nonsense friendly just to get them ready for their World Cup group stage. That's it.
But it's still a very important game for the Super Eagles, considering the fact that since they brought in this coach Peserio, they are yet to win a game. He's been defeated one the other, and he's played quite a number of friendly matches, yet to win a game. We're waiting for
I
that
can
first
understand.
major victory.
But I don't think the NFA is going to judge him on this game. It's not going to count. No. They're not judging him on this game. It's just a preparatory game for them as well. So just to see what the boys will play the European team.
What is your take on the mysterious injury that what's it called, Victor Osimhen claimed that he's got right now? What's your serious injury? Because a lot of people thought that after his performance against Udinese, they will see him, turn up for the Super Eagles. But surprisingly, the young man says he's injured. And don't forget, the game before that one, he also claimed he was injured as well. Is it a case of him trying to avoid the Super Eagles or what? Because he didn't qualify for
I
the
don't
World
think
Cup.
so.
He was part of that team that failed to score goals.
I don't think so. Well, Laji, to be honest with you, this is not a real. If you look at this boy, right, before now, he was injured, He just came back playing football again. And then this is no, it's not an important friendly. To be honest, it's a grade A friendly, but I don't think Osimhen is going to make any difference, even if he goes there and scores 2 goals. To be honest with you, even his club will not even want him there. Your club is not qualified for the World Cup. What if he goes and plays and sustain an injury that will rule him out for the rest of the season again? Because he had something like that the last time. So I wouldn't blame him for
He
that.
didn't
But
get
if he's
injured. He
as
didn't get
serious,
injured. He didn't get injured. He didn't get injured playing for Nigeria. He got injured playing
I
for his
know
club side.
for his club, but
So, and virtually all the players, all over the world right now are with their national teams. Those are going to the World Cup are with their national team in
yes.
Qatar.
And
And
if
for
you're
those
not
that are
going
not
to the
going to the
World
World
Cup,
Cup, excuse me, and for those that are not going to the World Cup, they are involved in friendly matches for their national side. It's just a way of still building the team. You can't say because you didn't qualify for the World Cup, then you won't be part of the friendly. You still have to build that team. The more they play together, the better they become.
Laji, I can understand you. You know what I mean? But at this time around, Nigeria is not at the World Cup. What do you need Osimhen for a friendly? Just to come and show you how he can
So
play in the national team.
if Osimhen doesn't play
We'll use
friendly
that.
for Nigeria, if Osimhen doesn't play friendly for Nigeria, he doesn't play with Paul Unuachu or doesn't play with Moses Simon, how do they form a synergy? How do they play like a team when they need to play in a
Let me give you
competitive
an
game?
example.
If you don't
How do you
practice your skills in a friendly game, how do you now
no
play it perfectly well
no
in a competitive game?
we all know what Osimhen did as a point man. But to be honest with you, this is an opportunity to play other players, to bring in home-based players, take them against Portugal. Let's see what they can do. Whether we can use them against Egypt in
The
a
home-based
qualifying game.
players just prosecuted the game against Costa Rica. These players
I
used to
know,
prosecute the game against Costa Rica.
you can
So,
still
and
play
this game
them
has already
against
been lined
Portugal.
up for the foreign-based players. So, what are you talking about bringing an player?
Daddy,
He was listed
if it's
for
a
the
very
game. He
if it's
should be
if
part
it,
of that
if
team.
it's a if it's a
It
yeah,
just shows part of sign of not being committed to the cause, the Super Eagles.
okay,
It just shows that
okay.
he doesn't care. That's just the way
I
I
would
see it.
to be honest with you,
Okay, now
laddie.
what happened to the
If
rest of the guys?
I'm a,
So the rest of the guys, so are you saying the rest of the guys that came to play the game for the Super Eagles are not just conscious of the fact that they are also injured?
because they're not that
What are you
important
talking
in their
about now?
club.
Anybody could get
Because they're not
injured,
that
but just
important
like
in their
you don't
club.
need to play to get injured, man. Nobody see
It's
any
not
match is
important.
important. It's a grade A match. So why are you saying it's not important? I totally
To be
disagree with
honest
you on
with you,
that, please.
Ladi
Let
fire.
us don't let us stretch that too far. We're still talking the World Cup. We're still in the World Cup mood. Our FIFA president Gianni Infantino has called on Russia and Ukraine to enter into a 1 month ceasefire during the World Cup in Qatar. Infantino told leaders at a summit in G20 group of major economies in Asia that the World Cup provided a unique platform for peace and unity because the event will be watched by some 5 billion people on television. As an alternative, he proposed videos or anything that could lead to the resumption of dialogue as a first step to peace. The World Cup begins in Qatar on Sunday amid widespread criticism of the country's human rights record, particularly regarding the workers who built the stadiums. The story has been making the round now concerning the workers who built that stadium, concerning some human rights cases out there in Qatar, and concerning their stand and so many issues, that's different from football. but some players have come to say that all this is politics, that they should just concentrate on the game and just enjoy the spectacle. But this is FIFA
That
president coming out to say, look, it's an opportunity for the warring parties, to shift their sword, and all in the name of peace, so that everybody can enjoy this global fiesta.
yeah, it's true. I think it's right there. If you're going to the World Cup, if you're going to watch football, go and watch football. If you want to preach politics, preach politics. Take politics take it out of football or out of sport. If you, because I wouldn't say because you go into a World Cup, you live in a society that is different from theirs, right? You want to go there and tell them how to live in their society. I think it's very wrong when it comes to that. It's very wrong. They won't come here. They won't come here for a World Cup in America or in England and say, "Oh, and start praying by the side of the pitch or something like that." No, they're not going to do that. They're going to respect your culture. If you read Hugo Lloris's statement, right, yesterday, he said, when people come to France, when they come to France and they respect us, they respect our culture. So if I'm going there, I'm not going to wear the armband, the rainbow armband, because I'm going to respect. That is the way it should be. You don't go there and teach them your own culture. We are coming here. No, these people are still aggrieved. I'll say these people are part of the world. When you say World Cup will shift anywhere. We've had World Cup in South America, right? Because most good footballers come from there. There's not been any of this complaint. We've had World Cup for the first time in Africa. Some people still make noise that at the noise in the stadium, boom, 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 boom.
You,
That's our
you
culture.
vuvuzela. About the vuvuzela.
Yeah, vuvuzela. Respect it, man. You don't say no. When it comes to yours, do your own the way you want to do it. So that is their culture. We should go there and respect it. If you want to host football, walk up in your own country and say, "Oh, fans can drink in the stadium," accept it. But don't go there and do that there. No, you have to respect their culture. I don't like what, but that's why I support what Gianfrancino said. Let football reign. Forget about the politics. And this World Cup has been awarded for the past for more than 12 years. About 12 years now. Yeah, I would say it's 12 years.
Yeah, they knew
And we
what
still
to
going.
expect. Everybody knew what to expect. So let us just enjoy the game. Let us enjoy the
Yeah,
spectacle. That
some
is what
people
we are
saying
really looking
morning,
forward to out here on Jambo Radio.
I heard people saying this morning that this one doesn't look real. Why? Because it wasn't held in May, June. So it doesn't look real. There's no sun out there. It's not bright out there. No. This is their own summer in Qatar. You either respect it or not. You can withdraw your country and say, "Oh, we don't want to go." You know what I mean? So we should respect them and take politics out of football play and let
Do
everybody
you
enjoy
agree?
the game.
Do you agree with the people that of the opinion that FIFA was not supposed to award this World Cup in the first place if they're really thinking about the welfare of the players? Because we're talking about cutting the season into two, going for the World Cup and coming back instead of you playing the World Cup before the start of the season, the way it's normally
Yes,
is normally been
that's
done.
true.
So do you think there was something like probably people cut for
But
that
this,
to have happened?
but this FAs of all these countries have not come out to tell us, were they giving compensation for that, for suspending their league, for doing all that, for Qatar to have hosted the World Cup. If we are going to suspend our league for 4 weeks and come back, this is the extra we're going to pay our players. We're going to take our players abroad for another season, because the players that are not going to the World Cup will be going on pre-mini season
Yeah,
or
but
mini
they will, I think they will go for break. They will go for break, then they come back for preseason. I think that's the way a lot of teams have arranged their return back to
yeah,
club.
yeah, so that they can be fit for. If you're not at the World Cup, you can be fit for the season, because the season kicks off to work. So what are we talking about? The World Cup should have gone there. FIFA president says that, right? It should have gone there. Why? Because of the weather condition. In May, June, it's a rainy season. It's 34, 35 degrees there this morning. Hurricane, when England was flying out yesterday, Hurricane said, "Oh, we're going there to go and try and win the World Cup, and probably I'll get the golden boot." But at the same time, going a bit of sun. Yeah,
I think it's good for the guys. They will end up getting suntan before coming back to England.
yeah.
Now let's
It's a
talk,
lot of
move
games.
on as yeah, a lot of matches to be talking about 1 month of great football. Still talking the World Cup. Sadio Mane will miss the first games of the World Cup in Qatar due to an injury. Federation official talking about Abdul Laiko was quoted as saying on Tuesday that Sadio Mane would miss a game. That because of injury to his right fibula. Now, if it's just one game, but my question is, they're saying that the possibility against Netherlands on the 21st of November is quite slim. Now, if he's forced back from this injury, don't you think that aggravates the injury going forward?
It could. I wouldn't. I wouldn't expect the coaching team to be that stupid to play him if he's not that fit. Just in the tournament when they might need him. But if he's fit, you know, I could remember when David Beckham, they had to rush him back. You know, took him to Germany and pack him up and at the World Cup. Right? He's reaping the benefit today. So, man, I've argued this with somebody yesterday. I said if they play him, it's not fit, right? That might end the season and Senegal's chances of going further. It's going to be a plus for them. That's what I said. Plus Senegal and for Africa as a whole, because it's one of our superstars that we love to watch at the World Cup and see that he does well.
Yeah, he's footballer of the year. He's a current African footballer of the year. So I'm sure a lot of
Hmm?
Can't wait to see
lot
Sadio
of
Mane come back from that injury and impact the Senegalese, the terror like he always do. I'm still talking World Cup. Real Madrid defender Antonio Rudiger donates his earnings from the World Cup with Germany to charity in Sierra Leone. The Germans were giving back to the country of his parents and as part of his philanthropic works as the fight against congenital club fault. Rudiger, through his Antonio, which was set up early this year, has been involved in many charitable works out there in Freetown. Also, with Big Shoe has provided necessary support to help children with a congenital issue get surgery. Rudiger is headed for his second World Cup with the German national group, who are in Group E alongside Spain, Japan, and Costa Rica. That's a very fantastic gesture coming from Rudiger. And
yeah,
talking about gestures like this, we know that Ahmed Musa, the Super Eagles player, is also doing very well, for people around him and for the society as well. And not forgetting Mohamed Kalou of what's it called, of Syria Leone, and not forgetting
and
players
Sadio
like
Mane,
George Upawe and Sadio
and
Mane
Sadio Mane,
himself. Sadio Mane doing so much for Senegal. He got an award at the last Ballon d'Or, for that gesture to the Senegalese people. And I feel there's so much footballers can do if you look at what these guys hand and if you look at the society we live in. But unfortunately, in my own opinion, though, a lot of African footballers don't really know how to give back. We can count those that give back at our fingertips.
people like Kanu
Or
Wonko
what
has
do you
done
think?
something like that with his Heart Foundation. I think it's maybe lack of education or the kind of people they've got around them managing them. Because this player, apart from them putting their money in, they their status is like they've got a product that could attract investors. They could bring people into Africa and say, "I want to do this," and they'll support them. You know what I mean? That alone. But I think we're just starting to see that now. And I hope a lot of players will do that very soon. A lot of players they'll start doing that because if they look back to where they come from and how much they've got in the bank today, then I think they should look back and try and do something just to help people, not the family alone, the society in general, people around them, what they can people with them.
I am of the opinion that a player like wouldn't have set up that art foundation if he hadn't
Hmm.
suffered that art
That's true.
problem. He wouldn't
That's
have set up that art foundation. I'm I beg to differ on that, but that's just the way I feel.
yeah, that might be true. But
Because
he did it
if
at
you look at if you look at level at which ex internationals give back to society and at which they help to lift the young guys coming up, I think the basketballers are doing a fantastic job out there on the continent of Africa. And I'm still waiting for someone that's going to tell me no that the footballers are doing the best. I feel the basketballers are doing so much because if you look at what Jordan Ihora is doing in Nigeria and the rest of Africa, you look at what Olumide Oyedeji is doing. A lot of all these guys are doing this thing and they're taking youngsters off the streets. They're taking them into the NBA. They take all these youngsters to college. They get them into the NBA. They get them empowered. For me, that is the height of it. For me, that is the height of it. So I feel the basketballers are doing so much, for African youth compared with the footballers. What do you think about that? Do you agree with me or you
like I don't
disagree
know much.
with me?
I don't know much about the African footballers and what they're doing. It's how close you get to people. And what people say out that when if like if they want to do something to help each other, they do the football match and pick the best players from there. They already husband and how I could help him into Egypt or how I could introduce him to my agent. But for basketballers, they got to do something you have to see. It's either they come to the game or they organize a tournament and the best. Then you can say they're doing it because people can say it. But if a footballer pick up a phone call and phone his agent and introduce a player to him, we might not get to that. And the player will not come out and say, Laji, it was a sim that phone Salzburg. You know where I'm coming from. So I wouldn't say this set of players are doing better than this set of players. But all I just want them to do is when they made it in life, come back home, invest in your people, try and lift them up. That's the only thing I want from them. Whether you take them abroad or not, it doesn't matter. Whether they are footballers or they are basketballers, it doesn't matter. There are people on the street. What Ahmed Musa is doing, he's not just doing it to footballers, he's doing it to people around his community. What Saido Mane is doing, he's not doing it to footballers, he's doing it to the other people in his community. Build house, build hospital that people can use. General people buy ambulances, that ordinary person will use. You don't have to. You get where I'm coming from.
I totally agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, still talking about the World Cup. It's no longer news that the Spain national team coach Luis Enrique has released his man players that will be going to Qatar. And surprisingly, there are some names that were missing. Thiago Alcantara, Marcos Alonso now of Barcelona, and not forgetting Sergio Ramos. Now, Ramos is out of the team, and Ramos is so sad. He feels he should be part of the World Cup. Now, what's your take? Thiago Alcantara, Sergio Ramos, I think on the bounce he has played like 29 or 30 matches for Paris Saint-Germain without getting. And Alcantara, we know, he's been quite impactful for that Liverpool squad. Do you might end up missing these two guys, or probably they've got capable replacements for them?
Gladly. To be honest with you, with them in there, they've only got chances of winning the World Cup, right? According to the stats, right? They've only got 9%. Whether they're there or not, doesn't matter. Spain is not a favorite for this World Cup. And I see this tournament, right, as a development tournament for the next set of keeping playing Ramos. When is he going to retire? The next World Cup? Or is he going to go? It's had two or three World Cups already. So it's for new players to come in. Alcantara has not been fantastic this season. He plays for Liverpool, where they're sitting in the table. It's not like they're flying high. They're not first or second. So that's justified as well. So I would love if we want to use this tournament to bring these young players in, beg them in before the Euro Cup. So it's justified. Let Ramos go and sit down.
Now, if you say Ramos to go and sit down, what do you say about a player like Luka Modric that is going back to the World Cup with Croatia?
Yeah, because if you look at Croatia, Luka Modric is their main man. And apart from that, Luka Modric is still playing till today. He plays in every game. He won the last Champions League. He won the last La Liga.
Sergio Ramos is still playing as well.
Yeah, he's still playing. But how many games has he been
He played in the last
playing?
game for PSG. He played in the last game for PSG.
It's hard, to be honest with you, it's hard at least 2 World Cup. It's time for other players to come in before they grow out of the World Cup as well. Another 4 years, a 26-year-old boy now will not make it the next time. So it's time for them to come in. Let Ramos go and sit down. It's difficult for people who are in limelight to want to leave the limelight. Just like what is happening to Cristiano Ronaldo. They don't want to agree that they're 7 years old. Like me, I would love to be 20 years old again with everything I've got today. I want to be 20 years old. That's the way it is. So they don't want to leave, they want to be there, but other players want to come in. Give them chances. So these people should go and say that. I'm not blaming Enrique for doing that. In fact, I love what he did. Put these
Now, do you
players,
think
new
do,
balls
do
in.
you think the Spanish do you think the Spanish team can make including involving Qatar, that's a host nation, Germany? We saw Japan at the last World Cup. It took Belgium, from their arsenal to get rid of the Japanese because the Japanese scored two early goals,
Mm.
battled back from 2 goals down to beat the Japanese. And now, don't you think that the Japanese, the way I see it, I see them as a dark horses in this group. But if you
That
look at the
causes
German squad
that
and
very good.
if you look at the German squad and the way they and the performance after this the World Cup qualifier, there is need for worry in that German squad. They are not like they used to fly. To know them, so
That
I feel
to be honest,
Japan might actually have a chance in that group.
yeah, probably Japan's they are that cause in the group. To be honest with you, I don't rate these European teams in this tournament. Maybe they at most maybe the semi-final, quarter final. Most of them. I see the South American team playing themselves. That's the way I say it, because the Germans they're not that strong this time around. If you look at Spain, nothing. If you look at England, okay, England superstar, their world player is Harry Kane. Is it not? Harry Kane is England superstar. That's their best player. And he hasn't done anything in his life as a player. If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's won 7 league titles. Lionel Messi, 11 league titles. Muller, all these guys have won titles like 2000, but they're not all that superstar. Muller is not the number one in the German side. Maybe then, but not now. But all these guys have won something. So that's why I don't rate England. I don't rate Spain. I don't rate Germany in this tournament. They're just going there. They might get to the quarterfinal. Yeah. They don't know what it takes to win a tournament. They don't have it. Harry Kane has never won anything and is their world class player. So what are you talking about? So I don't rate all
Yeah.
these European teams. Forget about it. Nah, I don't rate them. They're just going to
So
use this
you
tournament.
feel that now you just you I think you just went a step further. You're working with the Opta's prediction that actually predicted that the Brazilians are favorite to win this title, followed by the Argentines, and that the French team are also listed as well.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
now, if you look
So,
and the level of talent in that squad,
mm-hmm.
what do you think might be the Achilles heel of that team?
In
What
the
do you think
French
might
squad,
haunt that team? I'm talking about
in
the
the French
Brazilian
squad,
squad, right?
they, mm, they've got a good side. I would say I'm trying to look for weakness in that team, right? I'm not too sure. Maybe the left side of their midfield. I'm not too sure because they've got a good defense. Even Magalhaes from it's not in the squad, and the best league in the world, it's not in the squad. They've got Marquinhos. They've got you know they have some players that the coach had tried at the last tournament very well. So it's taking them this time around. They've got a very, very good squad. The Brazil, nothing. I wouldn't be surprised
Oh,
if they win it. Or if Argentina wins it.
yeah, I know that Argentina because they've gone like unbeaten right now, and
Mm-hmm.
this is the last opportunity for Lionel Messi to take alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Thomas Muller, and
Yep.
so many other world stars like that. 30s. So let's see the way it goes. And still talking the World Cup. Ancient France striker Kolomo Ane has been called up to replace Christopher Nkunku, who got injured and is ruled out of the tournament. He got injured on Tuesday during a training session. He got injured. I think he got in contact with Real Madrid's Eduardo Camavinga. So unfortunate. If you look at the French squad, they are already without N'Golo Kante, and there was a call for Pogba. And don't forget Preston Kimpembe is also out of that French team. We have Christopher Nkunku. And I think that is a very big blow for the French team. Because it's been very fantastic this season.
Yeah. Nkunku is a shame
this season.
Honestly.
That's right. That's right. Very good player. That is how far we can go today on this edition of Sports Engine on Jambo Radio Scotland. My name remains Ladi Egbedi. With me has been Nifemi Afolabi, the one I like to call Zimolini. Zimo, thank you very much for joining up. Hopefully, we should be back next week when the World Cup will be on. And we're looking forward to a lot of fantastic football matches, most definitely. And we'll be coming to you with a lot of juicy stories concerning the World Cup. Don't you go away. See you next week. Bye for now.